What's up guys, Visible Jiu-Jitsu Dave Moscow, Cuz helping out. We're going to do some cowboy arachnid guard, lasso spider as Cuz calls it. I'm going to show you how to get into it, I'm going to show you how to hold it, I'm going to show you 3 sweeps that come very simply off of that low sort of lasso spider. If you want to see more, this is a really big guard system, so we can do more videos if you want to see more stuff, like if the guy stands and starts to do other stuff. So, lasso spider, as the name suggests, involves a lasso and a spider. So if you know what lasso guard is, you can very simply add your spider into it. Simple way to get into lasso spider is to take double sleeve grips. I tend to favor the cat's paw grip, the 4-finger grip, the pocket grip, whatever you want to call this, rather than pistol grip. But there are people who will play with pistol grip, and pistol grip is a lot less finger intensive, right? And it's a lot easier for me to let go of this when he starts to wrap and try and break, my grips. Whereas this, sometimes he wraps, those fingers start to get twisted in there, and then you end up like the Meow Brothers with knuckles like Twiglets. Do they have Twiglets in America?
I'm not sure.
Right, if they don't have Twiglets in America, Google Twiglets. And you'll see they look like Meow's fingers. So what I'm going to do, push, knee comes in, and then we can play this feet on the hips guard where I have 1 in, 1 out. I can continue to shrimp away, and I pull the arm to him, to me, as I stretch the hip away. Loop, and we can play shallow, right? I can play shallow, or I can go all the way with my foot down to his lower ribs, keeping my knee nice and high. From here, I put my spider in, right? I'm keeping tension. So with my spider, I'm right in his crook of his elbow, down the bottom of the bicep, and I'm keeping tension. Now the simplest sweep to do from here is to stamp on his bicep as I bring my hips back underneath myself, and then kick in a big circle. And then we can come up on top. And there's loads of things we can talk about in a second about coming up on top, about coming up into bicep slices and giving up the bicep slice if I'm not allowed to do that. Certain things like that. So, done a little bit quicker. That's my sweep number 1. Okay, and then obviously we can settle into Kazuri Keizagatame, broken Keizagatame, whatever it's called in judo, modified scarf hold. So, important things going on here. I need to have a good angle and a good stretch here, right? The worst thing that we can see is not having a good stretch and trying to loop like this. Immediately he'll circle his arm to the outside, grab my leg, and then there's no more lasso here. So it's really important that I do a row with this arm and I turn my palm up. What I have now is my hand anchored onto my hip and my thigh here. So if Cuz tries to pull his arm away, all he does is he pulls his arm into me. If he tries to circle his hand to the outside to grab me over there, circle like backwards like this, yes, that's what he wants to do. So if I can keep this tight, look, try and circle. Yeah, I can kill that circle. If I stay like loose here, circle. Oh, and now even though I've got this grip, even having the lasso, now he's able to kill my lasso and kill my guard. So, keeping this nice and tight as we circle, whether I play a shallow lasso or a deep lasso, try and circle out now. This is game over. And we did a sweep previously from Z-guard where we basically just turned back and swept him over, but the spider is going to make that so much more efficient. So as I stamp to raise my hips, I then reverse and I kick up and over in a big circle. And now it's very tempting to come straight up here. The problem is, if you're a white, blue, purple belt in training, in competition, this is now a bicep slicer, and if I drop my hips, I will tap him. So to make this IBJJF friendly for the lower belts, I raise my hips, and I clear. And we can come into our, crucifix position, making sure I get my underhook on this side. Sometimes as we sweep him, we'll play a little bit of footsie, right? Because he'll try and reclaim guard. When I showed this to my class, they were all really tempted to try and get the position, and then as they sweep, they were tempted to try and come to mount. It's never going to happen, right? What's more likely to happen is as he brings his leg up, here I use my legs to play a little bit of footsie, turn his hips away, and then we can come up into side control. Side control, maybe knee on belly, using my knee to do the same job, turn his legs out of the way. That's kind of more your high percentage finish. Mount is if I'm fighting someone that just goes like a corpse and they don't try and fight to regain the position at the end. Okay? That's my number one sweep. Second one is going to come off of a defense. Let's just turn this way. Okay? So now, as I put myself into the lasso spider, Cuz knows what's coming, he's going to step one leg up. Right? And he steps this leg up and out. Because if I try my sweep now, he has base in that direction. Okay? So he's not going to go. Very simply from here, I'm going to do this. And then I can play footsie and come up on top. So I'll do that from a few different angles so you can see what's going on. Okay. If you like leg locks, nothing to stop you jumping into a leg lock or doing your footsie and coming up into side. So what I'm doing is playing a lasso butterfly spider. Cowboy arachnid butterfly. Someone needs to draw a picture of a hybrid spider butterfly with a lasso and a cowboy hat. So, let's go the other way, sorry. So what I'm doing is playing my butterfly guard, but with the lasso still in play. So as he steps up, look, I'd simply drop that foot into my butterfly position at his knee. Okay, not down the middle. Must be at the knee. And then this foot is going to come and it's going to scissor now. From here, I break his balance towards the rear corner and I pick him up and load him onto my shin. Very easy for me now to take my leg out, kick the leg away. I've got very close to the camera all of a sudden. I could come up, rolling Kimura. We've got so close to the cameraman's gonna have to move. Okay, you can make some stuff up, but that's my second sweep. Okay? Very, very effective when my guy knows what he's doing. Okay? If he puts one leg up, I'm gonna go to this sweep. If he stands up completely, we're gonna do something different. All right? Well, maybe we'll get to standing up completely in a different video. The last one I want to show you came out of teaching my classes where people were struggling to get that second one where they were breaking balance to the rear corner. And what was happening was they were getting into this position. Let's okay. Okay, stand up. Yeah. They were getting to here, and what the guy on top was doing without even realizing it was putting his weight so far this way that when they went through, they then weren't able to muscle and break balance in that direction. All right? Very simply though, instead of going here, he's given me the broken balance for what is in effect a basic butterfly sweep, just with the lasso still in play. Okay, so as he stands or half stands, look, now his weight goes too much in this direction. All I have to make sure is that this comes to me, and then I butterfly sweep him here. And again, Going to mount's going to be hard, but playing footsie, kicking his hips away and coming up into side control is going to be much more of a realistic prospect. So it's one of those where sometimes when you're drilling these things and you're trying to make something happen, sometimes you'll see that trying to force one way is difficult where they're giving you something in the opposite direction. Now, when I was teaching this in class, I hadn't intended to teach that third sweep, but it just came as a consequence of what people were doing as they were defending by accident the second sweep. Okay, they were leaning too far to their left and they weren't giving the sweep away. All right, so one more time. So lasso, spider, he steps, and I go. And then from here, if I can't bring him this way, it's going to be very simple for me to bring this arm out of the way and then complete my butterfly sweep and come off in that direction. All right, so a few little options there for you from the lasso spider guard, all right, and it's going to get even more complicated when they stand. We can make a further video on this. I don't want to go too much in depth in the standing stuff, but if they stand, we've got a lot of options from here: spinning under, harpoon sweep, going to omoplata, coming back through into our leg lock game and sweeping backwards. We can do star sweeps and various different things. So if you want to see any of that, leave me a comment down below and maybe I'll make a video if this one does really well and is popular. Okay? So, thanks very much. Thanks Cuz. Thanks to you guys. See you again.